go get the ruddy link before I forget.
So general rules of engagement. Mark your Queensbury rules. Fight, please, everyone. No kicking, biting, spitting, no gouging out eyes, etc., etc. Good clean fights. Are we on, Hibbert?
We are live.
Yay. Well, yeah, yeah, that's a good film. I need to watch that again. And we have the YouTube up. Fantastic. Right then. So my first of all question is this the first time that the three of you have been on anything like this together, or have you all already done any sort of things with all three of you on at the same time?
No, first time together.
First time.
Oh, goody. Excellent. I feel like one of those TV hosts from the political debates in the run-up to elections. Excellent. Fantastic. So, as I said, how I'm going to run this is we'll sort of pick a random order in a moment. Give each of the three of you a chance to just give a bit of a spiel, just introduce yourself, your reasons behind jumping into this, into putting your name in for the candidacy. That's the word. Lay out your sort of campaign nice and briefly. Give us a little bit of a heads up, and then we can go to like a Q&A from anything. I've got some questions lined up that I know have been handed over to me as well. Yeah, does that sound like an agreeable plan? All of you, fantastic. We're not going to be here too long. I want everybody done. I'm hoping sometime between about 8:30 and 9 o'clock, so we can all get off and have the rest of our evenings. So it'll be a nice, easy little afternoon for you. But we are going to give you a grilling. You're not going to get off lightly. So, on my screen at the moment, because you keep shuffling around, I have got Ailey first. So I'm going to come straight to you first of all. Would you like to begin with your little introduction for us?
Sure. Evening, everybody. We are part of something truly special, a community that thrives on the values of exploration, curiosity, and collaboration, just like the crews of our favourite starships. If I'm elected the next regional coordinator, I will be committed to building on the incredible foundation we already have, while steering us towards an even brighter future, filled with fun and celebrating our diversity, while making sure that everyone is included and gets to enjoy their membership. Everyone is equal in Region 20, gender, sexuality, religion, age, culture, nationality, background, and everyone has a right to feel safe. Region 20 is a safe space for so many. I will bring fresh energy, ideas, and enthusiasm to the role, but I'm not here to sweep away what makes us great. Region 20 is already a thriving and dynamic community. My goal isn't to change what works, but to enhance and build upon it. Think of me as new blood, bringing renewed vitality to a system that's already strong, rather than a new broom looking to upend everything. Much like the Federation itself, our strength lies in the diversity of our members. Whether you're a lifelong Trekkie or a newcomer discovering the wonders of warp travel for the first time, everyone has a voice in our community. As your regional coordinator, I would work to ensure that every person feels welcome, heard, and valued. Let's celebrate what makes us different while uniting around our shared love for Star Trek. Together, we can boldly go further than ever before, because the best journeys are the ones we take together. I'm not a box ticker, and I don't believe in token positions to balance things to make us look diverse. We don't need that. We are already about as diverse a group of people as you'll find anywhere in the world. If you want to progress, plug away, engage, pardon the Picard pun, and you'll progress and know that you've earned it. You can work hard to progress and still have fun. That's what we all want. The best communities are built on joy, and ours is no exception. From lively discussions to engaging events, I want to ensure that every experience we share is infused with positivity, creativity, and fun. My goal is to make it easier for us to connect, to collaborate, and to celebrate what we love most. After all, Star Trek teaches us that laughter, friendship, and discovery are just as important as overcoming challenges. My campaign isn't about dramatic changes. Our region is already thriving. Instead, it's about nurturing what we've built together and finding new ways to bring even more energy, ideas, and opportunities into our orbit. Think of this as the next episode of a series we already love, where we deepen the stories, explore fresh adventures, and keep the spirit of Star Trek alive for everyone. In a time when divisions can feel overwhelming, Star Trek reminds us that we can create a better, brighter future, one where collaboration and understanding transcend borders, beliefs, and differences. That's the vision I'll champion as regional coordinator, a community inspired by the ideals of Starfleet, where we work together for the greater good and keep the prime directive at heart, as well as my favourite fundamental Vulcan belief, infinite diversity in infinite combinations. If you believe in a future that's as diverse as the Federation, as inclusive as the Enterprise's bridge crew, and as fun as a night at Quarks, then I'd be honoured to have your vote. Together, let's make this the best era of Region 20 yet. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ailey. I will then move on to Philip, please. I'll let you do your spiel.
Well, thank you so much. So thank you, Doc, and thanks, Appleton, for this opportunity. So I'm standing as RC so I can continue supporting chapters using both my real life and my SFI experience. I've been in various leadership positions here for the past several years, so I have a record to judge on how I've celebrated our region, assisted chapters, and shared my love of Star Trek. In the Appleton, I've gotten a chance to spend time with many of you as team members. As Chief of Awards, I've worked with Chris for 2 years. I've worked with Doc, both in his role as CO and his former role as ASG, when I was as a regional staff member. I've worked with Erica when she was VRC and I was the regional chief of staff. So they already know what I bring to the table, for good and for ill. So if they say, Philip, he's all talk, don't listen to them. Or if they say, yeah, Philip, he's a dedicated, hardworking guy, listen to them. Don't take my word for it. What I'm asking you to look at is how I've spent the past several years. It's been my pleasure not only to help recognize our great member through the regional awards process, but to also celebrate our chapters by doing small things like spotlighting chapter anniversaries every month on the 10 Forward Facebook page for the region. I've traded messages both in public and in private with our chapter leaders about how we can better serve our members. I helped restart the regional summit process that I look forward to seeing everyone at this year. I made sure our unassigned members in the region were found homes at chapters so they could really exercise their membership. So not only have I learned about the job of regional coordinator these past few years on the regional staff, I've actually done it. I served as acting RC for a short time when Richard Sams had to step away for personal reasons. So this campaign has been a great experience with all of you on the Discord and on the Facebook, sharing our hopes and dreams of SFI. I look forward to working with regional and chapter leaders, moving those dreams forward. So if I'm lucky enough to earn your support as RC, I look forward to continuing this conversation. Thank you so much.
Nice one. Thank you, Philip. And last but not least.
So, my question to everybody and everybody that's watching is, do you want to make a difference? And I say that because
Over to you, Clive.
as a candidate and a nominee, should we say, in this process as we stand here now, I really want to push forward with R20, with the beliefs that we have, the exceptional stage that we've set already, thanks to the time that Richard and his predecessors have been in. Region 20, it stands at the moment, is in a great place. We have a phenomenal membership. We're very, very honoured to have worked with, to do with the runabout. to do with destination and as part of Mercia. And it's this passion, this drive, this determination, this engagement and true passion from everybody that I've ever met within Region 20 that has absolutely stepped forward to be on this this stage, shall we say, in regards to the election process. There are several things that I want to do. I want to look at how we recruit. I want to look at how we retain people. I want to look at the diversity aspect. I think, you know, Ellie's absolutely right. It's a massive thing at the moment. Infinite diversity and infinite combinations is a huge thing that really covers that subject in such a great and direct way. And it's something that I absolutely want to get hold of. But that's not just what it's about. It's about bringing more fun to the region. It's about, you know what, engaging with the chapters. And while we have so many things that every chapter does that is so engaging, so brilliant, that actually sometimes we don't quite get to know about what they're doing. We don't get to know and engage with them. And certainly from a regional level, I would want to be able to push that more and get more engaged with it. You know, I've been lucky enough to go through the shakedown process. I've been lucky enough to be part of a chapter that has been proactive and have been really, really engaged with the activities that we've done. And some of them have been a little bit off the wall and a little bit different. But you know what? It's been thoroughly engaging since day one. And just having the conversations with people, and that's what I found from Destination, that was such an emotional experience. It was such an incredible 3 days, was to actually talk to people from SFI, to talk to people from Region 20 and prospective members and people who didn't know what we're about. And we are a great organisation, and we do have some amazing practices, amazing things that we offer. And I want to be able to shout about that more. I'm involved with the PR side now a little bit. That is something that will be expanding and something that I would like to include within the region. And I absolutely believe that we have got such a great body of people, an amazing group of people, that we can progress. We can build on what we have got, and we can make this region even better. And absolutely, for me, there are people out there within this region that we could nurture, we can work with, we can build, who can be that next generation of our region, who can be involved with making fun, who can be involved with bringing us even more together, and who ultimately can absolutely 200% make that difference. And that is absolutely why I want to be here and in this position now.
Awesome. Thank you, Clive. So thank you, all three of you, for your initial opening pieces. I love that although the three of you have sort of slightly different takes on what you want to do, that you all have different sort of feel and different style, every single one of you is batting pretty much in the same ball game. You all know clearly what the priorities need to be, and you're all singing from the same song sheet on that, which is absolutely fantastic. While you've been talking, I've sort of been writing down sort of some key buzzwords that you're all saying, and you're all saying the same thing over and over again. One that comes through from me, the fun, the engagement, all three of you are talking about that, the dedication of the members, which again is absolutely fantastic. You know, as a CEO, I know that there are amazingly dedicated people out there. I've got, you know, at least one in the call with me today, our brilliant chief of comms, who manages to, at the drop of a message from me, manages to put all things like this together. And there are other people like that in every chapter across the region. So knowing that you are all looking at that engagement of the members, that really fills me with confidence for all three of you. And to be fair, looking at it from my point of view, I'm glad I don't have to make this kind of decision on behalf of my chapter on my own, because I would be finding it incredibly difficult to choose between the three of you. You know, you've all got a great stall set out. You've all got some great ideas with what you want to do going forward. So personally, I think whichever one of you ultimately lands the role, I definitely think Region 20 is going to be in safe hands. What that does make me question is, and I'll work through each of you, if whichever one of you gets the role, do you see sort of roles for each other in your sort of your administration, your command staff, your admiralty board? We'll work in the same order again. I'll come to Ailey first, if you would be so kind.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
I always worry that I'll press the wrong button because every screen, like the camera and the mic or lever right next to each other in a different order.
Yeah. Don't hit the big red button. You're fine.
No, that's a good thing it's red. Yeah, I like to think that that both Philip and Clive have got ideals and outlooks that are obviously the same as mine. We've all got around the region. We've not actually met in person, but we've engaged online, which is great. And yes, I would have great pleasure in inviting both of them to join the regional team if they wanted to. They would definitely be among the first people that I would consider asking, because they've been at the top and they have the same values and the same beliefs in the region and the same drive to see the region just continue to what's the exact word I'm looking for there? Yeah, I would be daft not to ask them if they wanted to be part of the regional team. So yeah, I hope that if I am elected, that they would be the first to reach out and offer what they think they can offer, as well as this, at the same time as me reaching out to both of them with various opportunities and to see where they could fit in.
Fantastic. And same question to you, Philip.
Yeah, no, thank you. I think Region 20 is an embarrassment of riches. And I mean, and you can see it throughout the fleet. You know, we have people all over the in fleet promotions. We have them representing auxiliaries. You know, we used to, not too long ago, it was Pip and Mark who headed Starfleet Medical at the fleet level. But just focusing on my two peers over here, I mean, yeah, Clive just started this great PR position with Europe, which, you know, for non-controversially, we will include UK for that for the second. And I mean, I think as RC, that's going to be a powerhouse position for us. And Ailey has just the experience and knowledge of this region that, you know, anyone would be a fool to ignore and not use. So yeah, no, if I'm lucky enough to be elected RC, these are definitely two powerhouses that, not just me as RC, this whole region, and let me not ignore, these are both great COs, so their chapters will continue to benefit from great leadership, because that's where the power, I mean, you know, Doc, as you know, that's where the power is in our chapters. And so I'm happy to continue to work with them to make chapters getting what they need.
Welcome. And finally to you, Clive. Next kind of question.
Yeah, absolutely. I know these guys have got some have got amazing qualities, an amazing background in SFI, a longevity that is I absolutely respect. The one thing that I would say is that with any of the positions within the senior team, I would open them up to anybody and field for who I feel and the VRC would feel would be the best candidate for that role. So I absolutely would welcome the skills. Again, it would be a free case of where you guys would want to see yourselves. I would want to make sure that it is fair and open to all who want to come, as we've talked about the inclusion, the diversity, accessibility side of it. That's absolutely where I would stand. So it's not I don't want you. I want to make sure that we absolutely open it to everybody who can possibly want to go for it.
Awesome, thank you. And you're absolutely right there, between the three of you. There is such, as Philip says, we are blessed with an embarrassment of riches in Region 20, and you know, we've constantly been punching above our weight at fleet level, as mentioned. Mark and then later Pip, both fleet level roles in Starfleet Medical. We've got so many people who have taken on big roles on fleet, and that's always absolutely fantastic. So I would hope that all of you would be, again, continuing to just push people and keep going forwards and just pipes in. Oh, hi, I'm in fleet. Yeah, absolutely. This is it. There are so many people that do so many things. I've been there. I've been an ASG, so I know what it is, what it feels like to be that link between Region 20 and something that is not, that is fleet, and it does feel absolutely awesome. So I think that brings me, my next question is, we've talked about what you would do within the region. What would each one of you do for the region at the fleet level? What would be one thing you would really like Region 20 to become absolutely fleet-wide known for? At fleet level, what do you think would be our greatest strength? I'll mix it up this time. I'm going to come to Philip first, please.
Yes, thanks. Yeah, having been a member of the Admiralty Board for the past year, I can tell you that, and some folks may know this, it's not a trade secret, the CS, Commander of Starfleet, sorry if I use any jargon, CS, Commander of Starfleet, and the Vice Commander of Starfleet, the VCS, are both huge Region 20 fans. David, the CS, was here. Some of you may have met him on his tour. And so I think what I would do, and it's not going to be an immediate thing, but a vision, it's not my vision, this is a great idea everyone has, I'm just going to use it, and coordinate it, as we say in the RC business, is that as we're flexing our regional summit muscles, it doesn't take that much proportionally to turn that into an IC. I mean, now I'm not saying we're next year or any of that, because we still have to we're getting back into the habit. And once we get back into that habit and we're back to normal again, I think that is something that's going to easily put us on the map, because people want to come here, and of course, Region 20 is big. So, there's a plethora of places to choose from across the Republic and the UK. But I think building those relationships that I already have on the AB, and that's a sort of a long-term, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years. Let's not put a time on it, but sooner than later. I think literally putting us on the map and bringing them here, and nothing can be more powerful when you have the decision makers on the ground to say, these are our people, these are our chapters, and then it's not just me talking to them or the VRC talking to them. It's you, the members, and the chapter leaders talking to them. So that would be my a slight long-term goal, but the short term of that is, of course, just building up our regional summit.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Philip. Great answer. Hayley, to you for the next one.
Philip stole part of my answer there. I was definitely going to mention the IC. Great minds think alike, Philip. The IC would be fantastic. But yeah, let's get the summits back under our belt. I've missed them so much. There's such a fantastic part of region life that bring people together. I cannot wait for May. Since March 2023, I've been a member of the compliance team at fleet level, a data protection officer, specifically liaising with the legal ramifications of EU and UK law and why the US chapters have to comply with EU regulations, regardless of their impact on the US chapters. Part of that role was compiling a database of all the chapters across the whole of Starfleet, and reporting back to the Chief Data Protection Officer on all the non-compliant chapters across SFI as a whole, including non-compliant regional coordinators, which surprised me, but probably shouldn't have, with the amount of chapters in the region that were also not compliant. It was a massive sense of pride to me that I did not have to report on any Region 20 chapters. We were fully compliant, and that's something I would always like to maintain and to show and uphold to the whole fleet, as an example, that we take that legal part of our existence really, really, it's really important. We take it seriously. It takes 10 minutes to take that little tick box exam. It's, you know, the word exam terrifies people. It's literally read the manual and answer the questions pretty much in the order they appear. 10 minutes. We were fully compliant. Our regional coordinator was always pushing, you know, get this is the date when you need to do your SFDPP, get it done, and you're all compliant. And we had no issues there. So it was quite shocking to compare us, and made me extremely proud to be part of Region 20. We're inclusive. There's a lot less infighting when you dot in and out sometimes of other regions and other chapters, and you do see a lot of friction sometimes. It's natural. We're all humans, and you know, everybody has their own ideals, but they don't always express them or handle them in the correct way. And I've seen that not always they're not always handled very well by the command teams, which sometimes fuel the fire. So that's another thing that I will always be proud to maintain about Region 20 is we're inclusive. We don't, you know, the CEOs don't rule with a rod of iron and demand their chapters behave in such a way. There's quiet ways to remind somebody of the way that, you know, that they've dealt with somebody online. You don't call them out face to face. You have a private message. You don't lambast them on the page. So that's one of the things that I'm really proud of about the region, and we'll always represent that to Fleet. We're inclusive. We support each other. You know, if a small chapter is just starting up and there's a larger chapter in the area, or you know, they know the people who have started up, we always support them. If we can, we nip along to events. We appear, you know, we pop in and out people's discords on their Facebook page, even if it's just saying hi or joining in with a quiz or something like that. We support each other. We include. We are an example to other regions, not just because we're compliant, but I think that Region 20 epitomizes IDIC. It epitomizes the Prime Directive. It's almost like Region 20 saw Star Trek, saw all the regions across the world and went, we can do it Trek style, and went full in exactly how the Federation should be. Region 20 represents the ideals of the Federation in the wider fleet, and that to be able to take that to fleet level and point out these are the things we do, this is how our people are, this is the love we have for SFI. We can bring Trek fandom into a great new world by representing how we are, how we deal with fleet, and how we're always pushing for that brighter future. Everyone I speak to across the region, it's always about Trek and how this will be in the future, and you know, how their chapter does this, and how everybody represents the diversity. Like, not one single person, every single person on our chapter loves the same show. We all like different elements of it, and we can debate it nicely as well without fighting. And you know, we represent the best of Star Trek, and Region 20 can represent the best of SFI to the fleet and show what a tiny region in comparison to the other regions. We've this little region, you know, 2 islands hovering in the middle of an ocean. We can show Fleet that we've got an extremely loud voice. It's, you know, not a mistake that on so many of the flags and the coats of arms of the UK nations and Ireland are represented by bears and lions. We can roar. We can show everybody that we can have fun and we can be fantastic.
Nice one. Awesome. And finally, to you, Clive. Same question.
Thank you. It's strange because I've got my details above me as I'm going through it and kind of going, oh yeah. And one of the things that I actually asked as part of mine was kind of, what do we want Region 20 to be famous for? What is it that we have? And you know what? That is probably something that I would ask and we would see for in the next sort of 12 months. You know, what actually do people want to get us famous for? What does our team chapters, what do they want us to be known for within it? I personally would love us to be known for being the fun, Trek knowledgeable region that we should represent as a fandom. This is why we're in FI. Yes, we have the legal side of it. We have all the side that we have to comply with, and I absolutely get that. But from an out there perspective, to create the engagement, to be out there and to talk to people, above all, I want to be the region that is known for being the friendliest, the most open, the most honest, the most transparent, that we have nothing to hide. We are absolutely a group of people who will get involved. We have people in medical, we have people in science, we have in tactical, we have them in, as you know, and the law, the legal side of it as well. We have people in the academy. We extend our reach as a region outside the US quite far into the echelons of SFI as it stands at the moment. But I think we can do more. We can, as Ellie kind of eloquently put it there, we can certainly be one of the loudest voices, if not the loudest. We don't have to be the biggest to be the best. We can absolutely sing the praise that we've done already. We have the award-winning regional magazine, the one that was recognized throughout. I'm slightly biased, I have to admit on that one, possibly, but hey, let me off for this one minor indiscretion. I was editing it at the time. It's great to know that we have something that is already internationally recognized on that stage. And I think we can keep going. I think there are other areas there's other awards, other things we can recognize. The and got recognised as well for the website design in regards to the theming, which was fantastic. I don't think that gets enough recognition, and it's just things like that we need to kind of keep pushing and just make sure Fleet just don't take their eyes off us, because I absolutely know, and these guys will, whichever one of us gets there, I know that these guys will absolutely push forward and make sure that we continue to be the region that is out of the box, the region that is pushing forward and making people think, actually, we've got to beat them, we've got to be at their level. And that's where we are. That's where we can keep on being.
Nice one, awesome, thank you. And you're right though. You mentioned there, Clive, obviously the runabout. We've got Jess, just a little bit. We've got Jess in the audience, who was instrumental in turning the hyper spray around for Staffley Medical. It had existed. It died a death. And then when Mark was the Surgeon General recruited Jess was instrumental in turning that around and just getting it into a format that it is pretty much sticking with now, and is still being turfed out every 4 months, which I think is brilliant that we have been instrumental in so many things like that. I think we also definitely put in a bit of a kick into the CQ. And brought that around, although no, I don't think any of our team were directly on most of the CQ sort of editing team. I know John on the Essex gets involved with the competitions, the picture competitions fairly regularly. I don't think we had much involved with the editing side, but we kicked up and said, look, the CQ comes out, it looks, needs to be better. It needs to be accessible. It needs to look nice. It needs to flow. And because we pushed that, it turned around, and that's a really important thing from my point of view. Is that absolutely, we've put our head above the parapet. We do keep saying we can be better. We can be better. And that probably epitomises one of the core things of Star Trek itself. Pushing ourselves to keep doing better, looking at something and not just going, okay, why do we do it like that? Not just going, okay, let's change it for the sake of changing it. He's looking at something, okay, that works. Can we do it better? Can we do something else that is better? And I definitely get the feel from all three of you, again, that we will have that, whichever one of you gets in, you will be pushing to keep getting better and better. I think for me, that's really important. And for me to put that to, especially to my crew, but also we'll put this video out for everybody in the region to be able to watch back. That's the important thing for me, is to think is, when you're looking at who is going to be the next RC, when you're making your decision to your chapter CO, whether it's Appleton crew to me, whether it's the other chapter members to your other COs, who is the RC do you feel is going to challenge you as a member and your CO and the region to have a good time, be fun, as Guy says, to be on the ball with the legal side, as Ailey says, and to keep pushing and improving and keep moving forward and sort of engage at that fleet level, like Philip says. It is so important. At this point, I want all three of you to be RC. Can't we have a three-way split? Put all three, we'll just keep rotating around. Chris, have you seen any questions on the YouTube page as yet? I've not seen any ping up on mine. Have we got any sort of audience questions? No, not yet. Awesome, fantastic. I'm just going back through my notes to see what I got here. To be fair, I think we've answered a lot of the things that already covered. Obviously, we know you guys have been putting out answers left, right, and centre for all the questions that have been fired at you over the last sort of 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So now just sort of on the more personal level to each of you, I'll come to you first, Clive. How do you feel this whole process is going for you?
Obviously, being fairly new to SFI in geological terms, it's been eye-opening. It's been interesting. I've heard the horror stories of the past. We've opened the big old books and we kind of dusted off the stories of back in 1726 this happened. And it's been really good. And I absolutely praise both Ellie and Philip for what has been a very enjoyable campaign. It's been nice to actually agree on quite a few things. We've probably disagreed on a few things, which is great. But that's the nature of debate. That's the nature of a nomination process. So you know what? I've really enjoyed it. It's been... I was going to say it's been the best of terms, but it hasn't been the worst of times, you see. So it's one of them. You could start a novel, but it's certainly not going to go into the second line. It's been fun, but that was Captain Kirk's best final line. So that's not particularly accurate for this one. It's just been it has been a solid experience. I'm trying to think of numerous rules of acquisition I could have put in as well, but we're not going to go there. No, it's been good. There's been smiles. There's been joy. There has been lots of different media's used. It's been great. And it's just nice to actually be on the same platform with these guys. And I absolutely wish them every success. Whatever happens, you know what? It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. Got to see what happens now, haven't we? Go for it. Hey, yeah, whatever. It's great, honestly.
Absolutely. Philip, same question to you. How's it been
Sure.
for you?
Well, thanks. Yeah. This is always for folks who haven't done this. It's always a scary process to put yourself out there. And, this campaign has shown the enthusiasm that is in this region for this region and for fandom, because these questions are great. It shows, look, if we had candidates and no one asked any questions, that's not a really healthy region. And that's why all these questions, yes, work for us. But it shows a lot of enthusiasm for this region. But at the same time, it's for all of us. It's not just me. It's a full-time job being an RC candidate in addition to being VRC, in addition to being in the Chapter XO, in addition. So I think that was something I didn't expect, but it's in a good way. That's been so much engagement, because I see this campaign as a conversation. It's not Philip, as far as my campaign is concerned, it's not Philip saying this is what I'm doing. I've put out some plans, but that's a working document. And I'm editing and updating them as I hear from other folks about their hopes and dreams, because it shouldn't be, at least from my end, it's not me saying this is what I'm doing, yes, no, vote. No, it's what do y'all want? What is your hopes and dreams as a chapter member, as chapter leaders? What can I do to support chapters? What can my team do to support chapters? And been hearing a lot of great ideas, hearing things that have made me think about new things we could be doing. So I'm constantly figuring out, okay, well, based on my experience, this might be the best way to go forward, things to talk about. As a very short example, I won't go into details, I heard from someone who had a particular need that isn't being met, not for any malicious reason, but I'm contacting Fleet about that member because I'm like, that's a great idea. Why don't we do that? So contacting Fleet to see if they can help, and if not, and that tells me that's something we need to be doing at Region. And so, it's stressful from at least mine. I don't know, maybe these two are much cooler than me. But it's good stress because this is the position we're asking for, I suppose, right? So I appreciate, but I want to say I really appreciate everyone's enthusiasm. Keep up the conversation. And the last thing I'll say is, though, I do challenge folks that when they're asking questions, because you kind of said this, Doc. Please continue the questions. I'm not saying don't, but when you ask your question, don't be like, RC, what are you going to do for me? I would rather hear, hey, this is an issue, and I think this is what we could be doing. Or, you know what, this is something we've done in the Appleton. I don't know why no one else is doing it, RC candidate. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell anyone, you can ask whatever question you want. I'm not policing questions. But I think that's more helpful because, RC is not Father Christmas. It's about working together. So I've gone a little bit long, so I apologize. But yeah, it's a great conversation, and I look forward to more. Thank you.
Excellent. And then finally, Ellie, same question to you.
Yeah, sure. I echo the same as what Clive said and what Philip said about it being quite an enjoyable process. The level of engagement has been fantastic. I certainly did not expect to see that many questions in the first week. And they were really deep questions as well that people were asking, which shows that people wanted to engage and they wanted to see where we stood. And having read everybody's questions and seen the answers, we've pretty much all said this, same things in different words with different slants on them, but we're all heading in the same direction. So, as Clive said, it's an honour to share the platform with both of you, because I think we're getting good responses out to all these questions that are coming in. It's been quite a peaceful. We've all witnessed political debates and how horrible they can become. Even sort of like just a mild comment can turn into slagging off the other candidates. There's been none of that. It's been peaceful. Sometimes maybe slightly a little bit more moderation needed in not moderation as in the amount, but people sort of moderating the questions that come through, because some of them have been like same questions already been answered in depth. It's just been worded slightly differently. I want to give a massive shout out to Jess Odell, who's been super amazing at keeping questions cross-posted across Facebook and Discord. This is the first election we've had where it's been pretty much across both channels as well, which is great because it means that people who are not on Facebook can actually access the stuff that's going on without hearing it sort of like third hand. They can see it themselves. She's kept going. The cross-posting, she's made sure that all three of us haven't missed questions, because occasionally someone asks a teeny question and it's lost by someone that's asked a giant question followed immediately by another giant question. So she's made sure that none of those little questions got missed, and took on the monumental and probably extremely tedious task of pulling all the questions and our responses together over 2 whole weeks into a document that could be circulated around the commanding officers so that they can present that to their crews, which is amazing because, as you know, any form of social media, you post one comment, you go back to look for it, and you can spend forever scrolling trying to find that one comment you knew someone had made. Now we've got a document, a link that you can click on and go and have a look. So that has been a massive help to the three of us. I know that. So there you go, teamwork again. It's been great. Definitely a lot more full on than I expected with the amount of questions and the amount of different things people were thinking of, which, like I said at the beginning, shows people are suddenly thinking of the things that they want to see either just sort of made better, or things that can be changed, or things that have been done badly in the past. not necessarily from a regional level, but just among the chapters, and things that haven't worked, issues that were raised that weren't necessarily completely fully dealt with, that still leave a lot of hurt and sort of just sort of feeling bleh about how things have been. And to know that people suddenly want to see change, and to know how the regional coordinator can help to facilitate change, communication, a way forward, even if it is just being able to make a couple of steps forward on new ground, and try and talk, and to try and meet, and to try and smooth over things that happened in the past. I've been in SFI for 11 years. The region is fantastic now. It wasn't always. There was a lot of rocky things, and looking back, I can see that what we do now, the connection we have, the enthusiasm we have for the future, is so different to what it was, that is absolutely phenomenal. And I do want to see chapters who've been hurt in the past reaching out to be able to talk to the people that they've perceived as hurting them or know have hurt them, and to be able to make a change, and that from 2025 onwards, it's going to be a new lease of life for some people who've maybe felt like they can't enjoy their membership because of a thing that happened in the past. Everybody's human, however much you want to move on. If there's a little bit in the way that you just can't get over, you need to find a way. And if whoever's elected, if they can help with that, that's going to make such a difference to some people. And we should see the engagement and enthusiasm and enjoyment level of some people just go through the ceiling.
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. So we have had a question on YouTube. We're saying for all the candidates, I think this is from sort of the perspective of, if you've got a brand new non-SFI member who's looking to join, and perhaps you're at destination, you're flying the flag, or it's another event, sort of what is... The saying is, what is the requirements to join? But I think the crux of that is, how would you sell not just SFI but Region 20? And I'm going to say on this one, in 5 words or less. Somebody's walked up to the stall and saying, "Why should I join SFI?" What would you, off the cuff, straight away answer? And I'm going to come to Philip first, please.
Play Star Trek with awesome people.
Like it. Amy?
Fun, friendship, fandom, fantastic.
Nice. And Clive?
Like a Treckle all over again, isn't it? Let's pick the words. 5 or less. I would go with, having been there. No, come with me if you want to live. Is too many words. Sorry.
I like it.
I mean, to be fair with you, can I even better that now?
No.
No. We'll do one. We'll do it properly. I would also use fun and fandom, because they're part of my slogan. You know what? To make a difference, I would go with that. I think it's absolutely what we do. We do make a difference in every way.
I think that lovely harkens back to that epic scene in the film that we all love, Generations, where 2 actors are sitting on horseback, and Jim Kirk turns to Jean-Luc Picard and says, close to retirement? And Picard says, planning on it. Kirk says, don't let them transfer you. Don't let them promote you. Don't let them do anything that takes you off the bridge of that ship, because while you're there, you can make a difference. And I know I've always sort of thought that is a brilliant guiding principle for me, the CEO. I think that the 3 of you will appreciate the same thing as being at chapter leadership level. And I think whichever one of you gets in, I would hope that you would all sort of follow that same creed at the RC level is make a difference. Absolutely. Awesome. My final question to you then, and then we'll wrap up. Oh, actually, I'm going to do two final questions. A really, really silly one, and not quite a silly one, because I think we've done a lot of serious questions, done a lot of things. So it's day one. You have beamed on to Star 20. You're getting into your new office. Which way round is your desk going? Are you facing the door? Are you facing the window? Or are you facing a different way? Synopsis.
Honestly, it's wherever going to be easiest for the yeoman to put it, because I'm going to be one of those. Not because I don't know if you've been to Starbase 20. It's actually pretty big because my VRC office is right across the hallway. But in the RC's office, they have like the sofa wraparound, like Picard's ready room, but bigger. It's bigger than that. And so I'm the one who likes to work on the sofa with my pile of pads. And then, when the yeoman knows to keep people away from the door, I can just do a quick lie down. So that's how I'm going to do it.
Excellent. Hayley?
If I don't have to have the desk moved, it will always face the door so I can look up and see immediately who's coming in and greet them. If I have to turn around, it looks like I'm not interested. Also, I like to have the light behind me when I'm working. So that's a practical one. Although I do also like Philip's idea of lying on the sofa to work. That is a great idea. I need a big sofa next to the desk. I can dive from it to and fro. Love that idea. Working comfort.
Like it. And finally, Clive.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go for the Lorca idea if we've all got to stand up, because I think that's a little bit extreme. Certainly, I would. I mean, if you look at if you look at all the captains, their desk is always facing the door. Now, the one thing that I would do that Picard didn't do, Cisco didn't do, Janeway did. That door's going to be open. It's a little bit of a cliche, I know, but let's keep that door open so that it doesn't. You don't have to kind of police them as they come in. People should feel that they can come in and speak to you at any time. And you're right. Although if you do, and the one thing that is in the ground so it is facing the window is that you can do that really cool sort of movie style turnaround in the chair. That would be the factor for me that would kind of perhaps be the playing piece for me. Like a bit of drama, bit of coolness, maybe a bit of mood lighting in there. I mean, get some uplighters in. It'd probably be amazing in there. I mean, get a nice desk, bit of mahogany, get it. But yeah, it's got to be facing the door, and preferably right, like you maybe just put it on a big platform as well, so you can just look down. No. So you can keep it on the level. No. It's gonna. Yeah. Who are you? What are you doing? You've come to see me? No, it's. You got to keep it on the level. It's got to be easy. You can't have steps up and down, stuff like that. It's got to be going in. I mean, luckily, I was happy that you didn't say the office was on that Starbase 80, because I mean, we all know what goes on there, and that's
absolutely
for another time.
Yep. Awesome. And I think we'll wrap it up with this one final question. It's one of your early days in the job. Do us a little off the cuff. It is your first RC's log. What do you hope to be able to put in that log as your first achievement? Be it large or small, what do you hope to be in that sort of first? On the new RC, this is what I want to have done. We'll come to Hayley first.
First day on the job. I would want my first log to begin with that the replicators worked and that I didn't have to start a day without my Earl Grey tea and end a day without my Talisker whiskey. That would be a big achievement. I would be happy then. Then I can settle down and get into the rest of the day. First day has to be, I need caffeine in the morning and whiskey at night. I'm fine then.
I'm loving also that it is that way around. I'm glad it's not sort of starting with the whiskey.
Oh no, you don't want to see me bouncing around if I've had whiskey in the morning. I'm safe with tea. I would just be full on, like you know Taz from Looney Tunes. That's me
Yeah.
if I had whiskey in the morning. I would get so much done that no one would see me for dust. So tea first. Tea first.
Excellent.
Make sure those
Excellent.
replicators are working. That's my log entry. Got my tea Earl Grey hot. I can do anything.
Yep. Clive, up to you. You're off log entry.
And nicely twist this one back into the previous question. So we've got to kind of, I'm gonna link it in. Would be, I think the line that I would hopefully have for the first log entry would just be along the lines of, I worked out how to stop the door from closing. And that would be it. You know what? If that door's going to stay open, we've got a success from day one. And as long as people know that, then that's the start of many a great thing.
Love it. And finally, Philip, up to you.
And your question, you didn't say day one, you said early days. So I'm going to assume this is
Early days.
30 days in. I want this is going to be, I'll make it funny, but I'll do a boring example because, of course, for folks who don't know, just like chapter COs have to submit their monthly report, MSR, the RC has to submit a RSR, our region, not a surprise. So what I want my full RSR, my first time, to say is that all positions filled, every position has a deputy. I could go on holiday for a week, and this thing will keep on running by itself.
Excellent. So, Haley's started on the whiskey. Clive's wedging the door open. And Philip's making sure he can bugger off on holiday for a week. Regan's in safe hands, folks. Carry on. Love it. Right, we have 2 questions coming in. So I've got one from Jess because she's got her hand up, and I've got one from Chris. So Chris is saying lots of CEOs, leaders, and other influential people throughout history choose other people to influence, but also reflect on. If you had to choose one Starfleet captain as your leadership mentor, who would it be and why? And you say no, you can't just say Kirk because he let you bend the rules. Who would you want? Clive first.
Well, you'd hope that it would be a peacetime situation, and therefore you would want to go for the Picard and the exploratory passage. I think you've got to kind of mix a bit of both, though, and I think that you could go for Cisco, which is like, 2 extremes. I think the person that actually exemplifies it in the middle for me, somebody who had to deal with the extremes of conflict, war, everything at that end, and then had to do the exploratory piece, is Janeway. I think the balance of the character there, and you know what? She is not my favourite captain, but I absolutely think as a representation of what a captain should be, she is the best example where it comes to somebody who is a very middle ground and has an understanding of pretty much every aspect, especially considering the challenge that she had, the lack of resources, the mission that she was intending to do that she didn't do. There's so many things in there. If you can get through a year of hell, then you know what? Good on you.
Awesome. Ailey?
Well, my answer normally always is Kirk because he can bend the rules. But like Clive, my favourite captain is not Janeway, but boy, she's got some guts. She can get anything done with pretty much nothing around her. Picard is like the epitome of how you would want to be as a diplomat, and pretty much anyone who has to deal with Q, although he didn't deal with Q like Cisco did. The captain that inspired me the most recently is from watching Strange New Worlds, Pike. To know what is going to happen to you in the future and be able to continue in the way that you do, he doesn't bring his command team together and at them. He talks with them, to them, knowing all the time that he is going to not die, but be completely mutilated. And to just continue with that, the passion and the excitement he has for exploration is something that strangely kind of sort of made me just think, about a lot of the way I look at things. Like, no one wants to know what's going to happen to me in the future. And if we knew things like that, most of us would probably panic. But I found a lot of inspiration and ways to deal with things in my own life and experiences by just seeing Pike and the way he deals with things. So I would like to take elements of all of them and make them into one person. There would be an absolutely exceptional Starfleet captain.
Excellent. And I want to know, Philip.
Yes, thanks. Now you can go to my campaign website and you can see who my favorite captain is. So like the others, you'll know I'm not choosing my favorite captain. I'm going to pick Captain Benjamin Sisko because like an RC, Benjamin fills so many roles. He's the commander of the space station. He's the religious figure. It would help if people thought of me that way. That probably won't work out. He's also the chief representative for the Federation to the Gamma Quadrant. He, and once the war started, he was, a vital piece to the fleet leadership. And also, even though he's commander of the space station, I think what makes him so much that you would want to be mentored by him, or at least I would, in this position, is because it's not like captain of a starship where these are my orders, you say it goes. No, you have to deal with the Bajoran provisional government. You have to deal with the Bajoran civilians. You have Major Kira or Colonel Kira, who's going to throw a desk at your face or something. You have the local people in the promenade. You have, you can't just tell people what to do. And he does it. Now, he obviously is a very different personality than me, but I think how he does that, he doesn't say, I'm in charge, you're going to do it. Sometimes he doesn't. But most of the times he doesn't. And I think that's the skills that it takes to be RC, is that you got to have 3 roles in your head at all time. You got to be able to persuade people in a way that's not saying I'm in charge, you just do what I say, because that's not how it works. And so I think Sisko is going to be my tent pole as RC.
Excellent. Yes, she's got her hand up. Do you have a question, Leah? Back to you. There we are.
I have a face.
A face. Oh, Jack hands.
So no, I don't have a question actually. What
You
I
do now.
have is what I have is my utmost thanks to the 3 candidates. No one asked me to compile all the questions. No one asked me to cross-post and keep track of things. I kind of just wanted to do it to have a resource for myself. And then Karen was like, "Ooh, I want to do one." So it kind of exploded into this thing. And you 3 have been amazing when I've been poking at you going, "Hey, is there a missed question here? Did you answer that there?" Not because I was trying to be mean or anything, but I kind of want to just can we wrap up the week so we can be done and go to bed? Because this week was so much nicer. Last week, I think I sat at my computer on Saturday for 5 hours straight, compiling, editing, doing things to get everything ready, and then another hour on Sunday. So this was, as I've joked with many of you, for the region. And I want to wrap up this week's so I think I've got everybody. If I haven't cross-posted stuff, I at least have all your answers to everything. And thank you for just tolerating me being pokey at y'all. And Philip, I have not asked for transcripts because I have a new plan. Because my plan is if they want them, they can ask. And so the new PDF just has your links. Clive, I have a video I'm trying to download so I can get your link. I'm going to try to get everything in. and get that emailed out to Rich tonight so he can disseminate and hopefully do that again. And let's cross our fingers that it quiets down. But thank you so much for just helping me do this, because I decided I wanted to do it.
No,
think
thank
that's
you, Jeff.
yeah.
Thank you. You are officially crazy for taking that on, but it's a
That's
good
insane.
crazy. You're insane. 6 hours at the computer doing transcripts and putting all that together.
Yeah, my butt hurt. Yeah. This is a
No.
brilliant chair, but my butt hurt from doing that.
I
Doc,
know.
I believe this is where you come in. I think, right?
I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
this is
Sorry,
a nice
I don't do fixing books. Sorry. Yeah, draw the line.
No, I know it's been a massive benefit for people to be able to have that document to look back on, and for us as well, that we can see what questions have been answered. I'm not speaking for the other two, but I'm sure that they will echo my thanks, because that's been absolutely a massive help. A bit of coordination and getting stuff in one place is absolutely fantastic.
And
Yeah, agreed.
many
I mean, I just
thanks.
want to say, so for Jess, she just said no one asked her to, because no one should.
Exactly.
She's the regional communications officer. She's doing her job, and I appreciate it. Because I mean, that's what a good regional staff person does. Speaking as a regional staff person, and you know,
Exactly.
Ailey too. I'm not ignoring you either. And so, I mean, thank you, because that's the kind of staff people that we need to have. People who have skills and are allowed to use them. And so, thank you for doing your job, because you don't have people to, and you know, and that's the kind of people that should be holding this position. So
Yeah,
thank you.
Here, here.
Hopefully I'll get it all tidied. I have a few more links to pop in tonight and get that out to those in charge of the election to disseminate appropriately.
Pop a good cushion on your chair before you finish, Jess. No more sore butts.
I've got a good one.
Got a good one. Yeah.
Okay, so it's Boba Fett, you know, but seriously, I know this was something that it was just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna do a thing, and it just
Escalated.
snowballed.
Yeah. I think often do in sort of
do.
SFI and anything. Yeah, you think, oh yeah, I'll just do that. It'll only take 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
I
an hour, 7
honestly
days.
could not have put this piece together without the three of you being in touch and making sure that I didn't miss anything, you didn't miss anything, and happy to work with me. So thank you very, very much.
And I'll just jump on that and say, you know, I'll just say to everybody watching, you know, do check out that document that Jess is putting together, because it will collate all of the questions. Obviously, we've had a lot of amazing questions asked over the last 2 weeks. People have been absolutely, you know, roasting these three guys with questions and bombarding them. How would you do this? What would you do with this? What would you do in this situation? How would you do this? So they've got a lot of information on there, on the Discord, on the RC election page. Go and have a look, read through that document when it comes out from Jess, and catch up, because, you know, we've only just really scratched the surface on the video tonight. But I say hopefully this video will be useful and entertaining, especially not just to my crew on the Appleton, but to everybody in the region who watches this back. I'll just bring Mr. Hibbert back in, if I can. Hibbert, can you get yourself back in? Ah, there you go. Hang on. We've got a full house. So I would like to say, first of all, thank you to Chris for coordinating all of the techie side of Appleton yet again. Thank you very much, good sir. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you, Jess, for your hard work behind the scenes, collating all that information. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in on the Facebook, looking at the YouTube, watching on here. Thank you very much. Thank you for the questions that have come through. And finally, thank you and good luck to our three amazing RC election candidates, Ailey, Clive, Philip. Thank you for taking an hour and a bit out of your Sunday evening. Thank you for joining us. I hope this has been useful for the three of you, especially as it's the first time that you've all been on the same platform together at the same time. I hope it has been useful and informative and a good way for you to sort of just take another step forward on your respective campaign trails. So, any last words from anybody?
Just like to say thank you very much. Thank you very much to Doc for hosting as well, and putting some challenging questions. I will slip you the money for the questions later on. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, gold press platinum accepted.
Really good one today, Doc.
Nice one, thank you.
Yes, thanks for the invitation to come along.
Yeah, you are welcome. And I say everybody's always welcome to be on the Appleton, on LBSF. Drop in whenever, and whoever does get in, we will absolutely be throwing a big party on the Appleton page to welcome whoever gets in, and everybody will be welcome to celebrate whoever is the new RC come every time. I think will be when we will know. Sounds good. Right, I will let everybody get back to their Sunday evenings. So I think it's just coming up to 10 to 9. So we'll all be home in time for the 9 o'clock entertainment of the evening, whatever you're watching on TV tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Live long and prosper. Good evening and good night.